हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, हाउ आर यू ऑल। आई होप कि आप सभी बहुत अच्छे होंगे और आप सभी ने जो पिछला चैप्टर वो अच्छे से कंप्लीट कर लिया होगा। सो नाउ लेट्स मूव इनटू द न्यू चैप्टर, चैप्टर नंबर 15, एंड द चैप्टर नेम इज वर्ड्स फॉलोड बाय अप्रोप्रिएट प्रीपोजिशंस। तो यहाँ पर आपको कुछ ऐसे वर्ड्स दिखेंगे जो फॉलो हो रहे हैं बाय द अप्रोप्रिएट प्रीपोजिशन। जैसे कि आपको फर्स्ट वर्ड दिया है अबाउंड इन, दैट इज रिच इन। उत्तर प्रदेश अबाउंड्स इन वाटर रिसोर्सेज। नेक्स्ट वन इज अवेंज ऑन और अवेंज अपॉन। The son vowed to avenge himself on the murderers of his father. Next one is award to. A prize was awarded to him for a prize was awarded to him for having won the judo championship. Next one is banish from, to expel. Those who had plotted against the king were banished from the kingdom. Next one is beware of, to be aware about. Beware of dogs lest you should be bitten. Next one is capable of. It these if यहाँ पर स्टूडेंट if होगा, if these sportsmen are guided properly they are capable of giving a much better performance. Now next one is seventh one, cling to stick to. The child was clinging to her mother. Next is eighth one, coincide with, to accord with. On this issue his views do not coincide with mine. Now next is point number 9, commence on, to begin on. The examinations will commence on Monday next at 9 o'clock. Now next is point number 10, deprive of, to prevent someone from having or doing something. We were deprived of our trip to the mountains because of bad weather. Now next is point number 11, despair of, to have a feeling of hopelessness. She began to despair of finding a good job. Next is point number 12, disgrace on, dishonorable. He is disgrace on his family. Now next is point number 13, envious of, feeling unhappy because one wants to get something somebody else has. Feelings envious of her cousin because of her brilliant results. She also started working hard. Now next one, point number 14, endowed with, gifted with. His wife is endowed with both charms and talents. Point number 15, exempt from, free from. Those who were taking part in the inter-school tournament were exempt from the terminal test. Point number 16, familiar to know. His face is quite familiar to everyone. Next is point number 17, favorable to. The course decision was favorable to us. Next one is point number 18, furnish with, to supply with. Please furnish me with all the details of the case. Next one is point number 18, get over, to overcome, to recover from. She took pains to get over her. She took pain to get over. She took pains to get over her shyness. Students, यहाँ पर shyness होगा, h आएगा उधर. Now next is point number 20, grieve to, grieve at, to feel sad about. She grieved at my father's death when I informed her of my personal tragedy. Next point number 21, grumble about, to complain about. The peon is always grumbling about the poor salary he is paid. Now next is point number 22, glance at, take a quick look. She glanced at his face and started noting down his address. Now next is point number 23, heedless of, without caring for. Our soldiers stuck to their position, heedless of the consequences. सही आ रहा है ना वीडियो? हाँ सही है. Now the next one is point number 24, heir to. Lord Rama was declared heir to the throne. Now next one is point number 25, healed of a disease, cured of. He is healed of illness after long treatment. Now next is point number 26, ignorant of, having no knowledge of. If you are ignorant of law, you can be easily cheated. Next one is point number 27, irrelevant to, having no concern with. In your examination, you should not write anything irrelevant to the question. Next one is point number 28, indignant at thing. Instead of being happy, he is indignant at my offer. Now next one is point number 29, jump at an offer. She jumped at the offer and was highly pleased. Now next one is point number 30, keen on, eager for. Many modern girls are keen on learning judo or karate. Now next one is knocked at the door. I knocked at the door but there was no reply. Now next one, point number 32, listen to, advice. You should listen to my advice. Now next one, liable to, deserve. The thief is liable to imprisonment and fine. Now next one is point number 34, marvel at, to wonder at. At Manali, I simply marvel at the beauty of nature. Next one is point number 35, meddle in, to interfere in. It is not a good habit to meddle in the affairs of other people. Now next one is point number 36, neglectful of. a person's work or thing. She has been neglectful of her services. Now next is point number 37, negligent and careless in duty. Don't be negligent in your duty. Now next one, point number 38, obliged to a person for some favor. The parents were obliged to the policeman for restoring their lost child to them. Point number 39, overcome with, to be totally confided by, to be made helpless by. The old lady was so overcome with emotion that she could not control her tears. Now next is point number 40, prone to, intend to. Thickly populated areas are prone to riots and diseases. Point number 41, preside at a party. Chief guest, the governor presided at the feast. Next is point number 42, refrain from, to avoid along doing something, to stop doing something. We should refrain, certainly refrain and not regrain. Okay, we should refrain from taking in a library. We should refrain from talking in a library. Okay. Now next is point number 43, revolt against, to make a public protest against. Gandhi decided to revolt against the unjust Gandhi decided to revolt against the unjust suit laws of the government. Now, next one is point number 44, search for a thing. She is still searching for a good house. Next one, point number 45, surprise at. We were surprised at the Reshma's brilliant result in the final examinations for the class she has thought to be an average student. Now, next is point number 46, surrender to feel to. When the soldiers ran out of ammunition, they had to surrender to the enemy. Now next is point number 47, think of, remember a subject, think of a plan and let me know tomorrow. Now next is point number 48, tired of, sick of, fed up with. I'm tired of listening to his flattering words. Now next one is point number 49, vain of, proud of. A person who is vain of being wise cannot be called wise. Now next is point number 50, weary of, that is tired of. The farmer was weary of the hard work he had put in the fields. Now next is point number 51, withdraw from. When he realized that he did not stand much change of success, he withdraw from the election. Now next is point number 52, worthy of, praise note. Your remarks are really worthy of note. Next is point number 53, yearn for, acute desire, long for. People living in big cities yearn for greenery. Next one is 54, yield to surrender, to give in to. After a long battle, the army yielded to the invaders. Now next one is point number 55, zealous for labor, a thing. A good soldier is always zealous for his country honor. आई होप स्टूडेंट दैट यू अंडरस्टूड दिस चैप्टर. आपका होमवर्क है कि आपको इसके फॉलोइंग ये जो यहाँ पर जो पॉइंट्स लिखे गए हैं उनको लिखना है फिर से और इनको अच्छे से याद भी करना है. नाउ आई विल मीट यू इन अनदर क्लास. टिल देन स्टूडेंट्स, बाय बाय.